Alrighty, I think it's doing something. We're gonna find out. Let's go ahead and switch down into single screen mode here. And reboot. Sure wish this thing... There we go. Alright. It's got like a damn 30-second lag on it. Alright, what the fuck? Let's do this. Keep that out of the way. Something over here. Let me figure out my screen setup. We're gonna have a little feedback loop here. Cool, that worked. Great. Switch which monitor I'm using so nobody's having to see this shit. Mini size. Good God, that's big. There we go. Something I can read. Where'd MA go? Here's MA. Sure, I can make that work. Where's my coffee? Alright, so we are on day fuck knows what of this fades thing. I have started setting up the ability to do... Does this camera work? I've got a camera on here. Let's see how bad it is. Oh, hey. What's up? God damn, I need to shave. Alright. So we're on day 4, 5. I don't really know of this fades plugin. I've started setting it up so that it will integrate with custom user images as well. And have started doing the same thing for both of the color grids that I've got. So I am having to go through and redo a whole lot of work now because, well, a lot of that involves kind of rewriting huge chunks of the plugin. So we're going to go through and I'm going to explain what I'm doing as I go. Hopefully it will make a little bit of sense what's going on. Is this thing actually live? Because it doesn't seem live. It is. Alright. Some stream issues. Yeah, well, let's get into it. Like I said, I'll try my best to explain what the hell I'm doing as I go, but some of it might be a little disjunct given that a lot of this code has already is already existing. So let's go ahead and swap over here. Make sure. Sure that stream's actually coming through. My feed is frozen as shit. You can't tell me excellent connection and then just show a perpetual loading screen. If anybody can hear me, see me, leave something in the chat because I cannot tell. It says the stream's going through alright, but I am also seeing a black screen on YouTube's end. If I refresh the page, does it all go to shit? It says I'm still streaming. Whatever. Let's go for it. Cool. So we're at the point now where I have to redo how the images are actually stored in the plugin because of the way it's going to interface with users. So let's go to our image pool, and I've done a lot of work in this file. And I'm just going to go ahead and just fuck it. Cool. Yeah, alright. Lots of empty space. Should need to get the fades back in here, so let's open up. See where our stuff lives. And graphics. Doing fades here. I think this is it. Yes. Wrong version of MA. Let's go into version 3.8. Images. I don't know why that's all caps. Sweet. Stream is working. That is good news. Alright, so we've got all of that in here. Let's check again. Images. Going for fades, and we'll be working with the red set to start off. We're gonna rename every fucking one of these things. Open. Dope. Alright, so I think I actually even had a macro I was using with this, which I may have deleted already. I have an older version of this file. Nah. That would have been smart, but I wasn't smart. So, we're looking at images 701 through 706 here. And we're going to say export image 701 through 776. And then once we do that, delete image. I'm just setting up a macro here so that I can do all of these sets quickly. So basically I'll rename them all and then export them all into XML files. So great. Now let's figure out, there was a plugin somewhere for naming these things, which I'm probably just going to have to dig that script back up, which is fine. Hey, look. Great. So set up ourselves a little loop here to rename these because I'm not waiting to do all that. And so I'm having to rename all these because I'm setting it up so that users can put in their own image sets. And to go with that, I'm going to need them to name it a specific way, and it will be a little counterintuitive if the images that I'm including are not named the way that I need them to name it. Because it will be kind of using two separate importing systems. So I'm going to make it less counterintuitive. We're going to label each image as, so the format I need is going to be time and status. I mean, that's pretty much it. My brain ain't doing fuck all today. So we are labeling it. So name needs to be, is that already how it was naming it? Let's just see this. And we hard coded in 701 as our starting point, and this will be called, I feel really fucking, is that already how they're named? It's not, no. Okay. Maybe that's how I named it in, well, I feel extra stupid. Cool, we just saved a step. I already named them that way. Oof. Alright, let's just verify that all those files are actually like that. So, we're going to go to 3.8 import export. And I'm going to put in, do I have any of the fades in here? I don't. I'm going to copy these in. Say import fades red. Actually, I'll just check one of the other sets. Okay. Let's see. Image 801. Yeah, overwrite. Okay, that's what I had thought. So they do start with fade. So at some point along the line I changed what that naming macro does, which was not wise. Import. Glad I verified that. Yep, they all have fade in the name. So we are redoing these XML files. That's fine. So let's get rid of this shit. Alright. So starting with reds. Before we add any more confusion to that, let's wipe these out. Cool. And actually, while I'm at it, I'm going to go ahead and dump these in the trash so I don't get confused. And let's do this. We've got them all renamed appropriately. Great. Export and wipe. Fades red. I'm going to make sure that actually went through. File is there. Let's import it. Oops, wrong command. Still wrong. There we go. Import fades red image 701. Perfect. Alright, so we're going to go through and do this with all of them. So we're going to import, we'll go in order now. So all of our blue images, rename them. Almost. Cool. Just have a quicker access to that. Great, that's already been done. Export and wipe, fades, blue. Great. Green. So I'm including with the plugin like 6 different colors to use. Cool. So right now I'm just reformatting all the XML files for that. And then in addition, I'm setting it up so that users can set up their own images with it for any customization they want to do. What the fuck am I doing? Not functioning and talking at the same time, apparently. This tab could go away. Is that magenta? That was magenta. Orange. Hopefully the mic is a little less obnoxious this time. I didn't realize how hard I hit the compressor on it last run. Pink. Rename export fades pink. Red we already did. Violet. I must have missed one. Alright. Let's go and reformat all of these. Oh. Oops. And I guess we'll close out the third view here for now, or I can make it a little bit smaller. I think that should still be readable. Well, find out here. Okay. And don't need that right now. Preset keys. What the fuck is that? Oh. I love when I put things in and I don't remember what I was doing. Alright, one by one, let's change these all. So we're resetting the version number to 300 on all these. Just so no matter which version of MA they import into, they will be read as a previous version. Unless somebody got real far in the deep end and figured out how to open a plugin pull in version 2.9. Which you can do. But actually, I don't know about 2.9. I know you can do it in 3.0, even though it wasn't included yet. I just like breaking things. Save, close, and save, close. Alright, that should be all of them. Those should all have been edited in the last minute. Go copy those all back into our XMLs, and actually, yeah, we'll go ahead and put them in the main import-export folder for now, just in case I want them. This can go away. Cool, so now we have all those XML files ready. So I'm working with the red version right now, so I'm just going to copy the script back in to our plugin script. 092 should be on 093. Oh, fuck, but I backed out of some of those changes. Okay, so let's save this as... Oh, I fucked myself on the version number. That's fine. 094. Rename this just to... There we go. We're not coming back to that. Don't even need this tab right now. Great. Alright, so we're going back, changing our XML script for these images. I did copy this already. So this is just an embedded XML file in the plugin for the purpose of being able to include the images with as minimal crap to deal with as... Sorry, Trello. For importing, so the plugin keeps the image set with it. Also, do not feel like dealing with this for now, so 170 is the library number we're on, and go away so I can fucking work with this, which means it's no longer embedded. Cool. Alright, now, what the fuck were we doing? Okay, so originally we were reading our fade times from this table. That table is going to cease to exist. So, I'm just going to go ahead and wipe it out of our plugin here. And it is instead going to start reading the times based on the naming of the images. So, with that in mind, let's see, how are we going to do this? We can even set it up so that the order of the images doesn't matter. Is there any reason? I'm trying to think of any flaws that would come from this setup. I think it should be fine. We'll see. We'll give it a test with some different ideas, but okay. So we are going to now have to set up. So in handle image actually was for setup for user input. This is where we import. We can no longer just import these. So let's set up a function for it, as we did with the color grid. called, you know what, I'm just gonna straight up. So I've been doing some editing on the color grid generator as well, setting it up for custom images. It is not yet done. However, I'm trying to get this one to where it is ready, so that manuals can be getting built while I'm programming the next one. Where the fuck? Okay, local functions. We're right here. You know what? Before we do that, let's move that. Put that there. Scripts was part of this. Local functions, error log. So this is a new feature I'm adding in as well due to the customization. And basically, as part of the cleanup command, so yeah, are we fully collapsed here? Just to explain what the hell this is. As part of the cleanup command, if it sees that plugin complete did not get set to true, which it happens as the very last line of the main plugin, if it sees that that failed, if it sees an error flag, basically it'll pop up a specific set of error information on the screen so the user knows what specifically went wrong and how to address it, since this will be supporting more or less editing the plugin a little deeper than I've previously set it up for. That way there's a little less confusion as to what specifically might have gone wrong. So up here, it just sets a flag number to know which one of these entries to display information for, and then ta-da, it'll print all that out at the end of the script instead of me having to insert this all at every possible error that can show up. This allows me to consolidate it all at the very beginning. So with all that said, we were copying from here. Let's see what we can do with these. Alright, so load user images, load images. We're starting with our own. So differences, there's no all set, so we're just returning information for on and off. And we do need to add a times field. Hello everybody in the chat stream, whatever the fuck it's called. So basically I'm setting this up with two different tables for times. One is the key value is the times, and that will let you know which number entry in any of these three has the information for that time. It allows basically referencing by either which image it is as far as the series starting from counting 1 up. Is the first image, second image, third image, so on, or referencing by the time that it contains. If it contains 0 seconds, 0.05 seconds, so on. So, alright, so we've got that set up. Probably go quiet for a little bit here. So we have that size. Not even accurate for this. Yeah, no, that's not accurate for this one actually. Does that get, that's where that gets used. Okay, well, that's a really poor reuse of words. Alright. Number of images we're importing. Motherfuck. Okay, I see another failure in logic here. We can't do it without any information on the number of images because it has to know how many images to make room for. Or does it? It does not, because it can read the script itself. let's say we open this up. Each image starts with a tag that is that in parentheses. So let's say I give it copy path. Let's open this in the standalone Lua interpreter. So anytime I'm just testing out a concept, I'll pull it up in this. Yeah. Equals IO open file read. RF stands for read file. And we're going to read everything in that file. And we're going to close out, except we need to read that to some kind of variable. So actually, there's no reason to declare that early. We can declare it right here. All right, contents. And we're just going to print length of contents just to see that we read the file. Cool, that's a big enough number. We are seeing the file. So local counter equals 0 for match in contents gmatch. And we're looking for the tag image in pointed brackets. Do and this is just verifying that, yep, by doing that we can tell how many images are contained in this image script. So now that we know that, that is exactly how we will do this. So let's head over to, where the fuck did I put that function? Alright, so size is going to be match in do I need to name it that way? First off, let's copy you onto another screen here. Great. And down here, at this point, I don't need that to be a table value at all because all it is containing is this script. And I'm going to make a note because some stuff's about to get hairy as I work my way through this. Alright, and we are going to be fix table references script. Hopefully I'll know what the fuck that means. Cool. Alright, so this just ceased to be a table and is now just a literal string. Great. Okay. Oh, oh, that actually didn't change anything here because I do need to pass a... Oh, this is completely different. This is all configured for the color grid setup. So let's see. Size does not need to be present. You know what? We're just going to pass script as its own argument. Equals string. I don't think there's anything else to pass at this point. So great. So there's the script. So config.script is what we're reading. Then, oh, I was setting up a shortcut. Great. So now we have a count of how many images are contained in this script. Right. So we want to replace size with count because I'm using size as an export, as a field that's coming out of this thing. Also, is there anything else I need to consider for space on this? It's not building images to be read from until after it's imported them, but we do want to be able to keep all of those together. Yeah, fuck. Alright. So we'll do, so we have our on and off copies here, so we're going to multiply whatever the count number is by 1.5. Oh shit, that's going to turn it into a float. I wonder. Alright, so equals 2. Equals print. See if it prints 3 or 3.0. If it's 3.0, then we know it's a float. I don't trust that. Okay. How do I check if it's a float? Alright, we're gonna go with it. We'll see if we get any errors from it later. Great, so there's our total size. Okay. There's no all prefix anymore. There's no... Great. Okay, what the fuck is I doing? Verify the imp. Okay. Let's start install log, importing. Let's start. This gives us our number where we're going to start putting images in. Great. Script. That's not how we're handling this anymore, and I don't know why that's in there. So we're going to say if it fails, it might return nil and a second value just to show that there was an error. And in that case, we're going to say, where's our error log up here? There we go. Flag number 1. Flag equals 1. And I don't think there's anything else to mention. Yep, so everything is stated in here. Then we'll say return nil and true, which will There we go. Otherwise, we verify that it did come in correctly. Great. Moving on to the next part. I think we are clear so far. Prefixes, also not a thing in here. So, do we actually need info at all? No, we don't need this field at all. Great. Moving on down. Lights IXNL. No, I didn't really have any coding background. I'd played in Python for a tiny amount, but pretty much all of my coding background has been for MA, or doing plugins in MA. Probably be a hell of a lot better of an LD if I spent less time doing this. Alright, so we were down here. I'm going to go and type that just for anybody else curious. This does not matter. Delete image. Yes, because these are the ones we're importing. Great. Okay, so we're going to try to extract the times out of this. That's where this one starts changing. So we're not concerned about the prefixes. How are we going to differentiate between on and off images? I'm just going to tell them to use on and off in the name. So we're going to turn these into tables that have an append function. Great. So as we go through, what are we doing here? Equals name match, and we're looking for anything that is a decimal or a decimal character or a literal dot, just to make sure. I'm gonna say let's see here. Equals match any decimal figures and periods plus. Great, it works. Just verifying if I remove this, it ceases to work. Okay. So that's how we'll extract our full number. So that pattern is correct. Except the brackets are in the wrong place. So for anybody newer to Lua, this is utilizing pattern matching to figure out the time based on the name. If you have not dug into patterns using strings, they are super powerful, super helpful when working with any text in Lua. Highly recommend that and string.format. Both super helpful things. And we want to turn this into a number, right? Yeah. Great. Oh, let's throw in a new error message. So I'm actually not sure how the user import's gonna work on this yet. I'm just trying to modify the main plugin that'll oh god. So that whatever I do will be sensible for however users have to name their stuff. Which one of the options on the table right now, Rob Garcia, just saw your message. So that whatever I'm asking them to name it as is at least matched and working in a consistent manner to hopefully do as little. I don't know. I don't want to have too many different versions of things within the plugin. I don't want to have to do something two different ways depending on what the user has chosen. It should be as minimal of code rewrite as possible. So we'll say timeout fountain. What the fuck was? So let's see. We are looking at error log. Was it custom info? I'm trying to keep anything like this that lives outside of the main function. I'm trying to keep it as consistent as possible, just so that all of my template plugins, the base file, isn't always changing. I'm not always having to redo this work. Now I can copy this basic template into my next plugin, and I don't have to worry about how it'll handle the cleanup if the plugin fails. Great. And we'll say doop-a-doop-a-doo. If it wasn't found, then log flag is 3. And then we'll say okay, and I've got to figure out what the hell this number is coming from. So, do we have a counter going? No. Started at 1. Yeah. Great. And now, provide the counter as the argument for that. Take this. Okay. Great. Gotta accommodate for this. If not name, then errors are kind of out of order, but for we'll come over here. Great. Alright, so now this is starting to turn into a mess. First off, it'll look a little more like Python here for a minute, just to kind of try to minimize the number of extra. Alright, a little bit easier for me to look at. Great, so we've got our time, we've got our name. Next up, uh-oh, it's getting rainy. Pairs T. What the fuck is T? Oh, right. Okay. So now we need to find a status. So local status equals okay. I could see that. So let's say if name lower, find. So we'll make sure it's lowercase for the comparison. Cool. And then each one of these is a key, so that'd be great. So if we find prefixes, we're not using the prefixes window anymore. And the only things in T are currently on and off. Yeah, and each of those subtables has some info, but that's fine. There we go. All right. So if we find key, then first off, let's handle what happens if we don't find it. We got another error flag. We're going for 5 now. All right. Alrighty. Again, I could be typing that all out in here, but it just seems cleaner to consolidate where all of the error info is. And that also allows me to not accidentally reuse a number. Now that I've got it all in one centralized place, I can see that, oh, I've already used, you know, an error number 3. Just to, I guess they don't all have to have numbers. But it's what I've seen other programmers doing, and I figure guys that have been doing this for decades probably know a little bit more than I do. So okay. So we're handling start and finish numbers of each of these, which they should be going in order, so this shouldn't actually be a concern, but whatever. The index. Okay, first off, let's change this because that is confusing naming. So I know that I'm working with a set of images that is being passed along as a table. It makes it a hell of a lot easier to understand what's going on. Okay, set start. Set index equals the image. Great. So now I need to set so I found the set. I need to tell, oh, I need to make sure we have matching indices as well. They should be in the same order, but let's, just in case they're not. Okay. So let's handle that up here. Let's set up this will later become sorry. t dot time index. Great. I just don't want to put it in there now because this function is looping through all of the keys that already exist in this table, and it'll just complicate this loop if it has to check if they have a start and end field, for example. Also, better coding practices. Okay. Great. So now we're going to say time ref if not time ref time, then we're going to say times and kind of confusing, whatever, and then time ref indexed at time equals the current length of the times collection. I don't think I could have labeled these any more confusingly. We've got 3 different variables here that all have time in the name. So we'll see next time I have to edit this if I want to punch myself for it, because I probably will. That's fine. So and then so we're going to say local index. Are we already using index in here somewhere? Yeah. So what the fuck is this? Not relevant to this. This is not relevant. I'm going to comment it out because we have to do something similar. Great. So index is on the table, and that's good because that's the word I need. So we're going to declare it here. Well, at least let it know it's a number so it doesn't have to type convert. I don't know if that affects performance. Oh, I don't need to do that because actually index equals time ref time. Great, so now we know it exists in there, and that, yeah, will give me the index that is used in the times table, which will be shared in the on and off tables. So that is how we'll make sure that that same position will always line up for both of them. Great. Table indexing for okay, next up, great. All right, save. If we find that name, which we right now only have on and off, which is what we want, then we are going to say that set index. Is that the what I? That sure the fuck is. That's the line that I just had. Okay, set index equals image. An image is a number, and that's what we want. We're going to adjust our start and final numbers so we have a full range of these things, and then we've handled errors. Oh, yeah, no, that's a stupid idea because Okay. You know what? If your image doesn't, theoretically they should all match, or should all fit into this setup. Let's do this. Once it matches to one of these, oh, this is the loop for the whole image. All right, let's get our shit together here. Okay, so this is fine. I'm just doing it in the wrong section. So we are going to loop through okay. So then if it matches, it will say matched equals true. Then after this loop, we will say if not matched, then we will say, I don't fucking know. Fucking why am I seriously? There we go. And I've set this append method on all of my tables to automatically handle string.format as part of what they do. Okay. So not match that we will blah, but we're not going to throw an error message. We're just going to leave something so that if they don't see their images popping up, they know what's going on. And fuck it. All right. Counter indexes by 1. Great. So that will handle getting us into all of these fields. We have set up a indexing reference table. We've set up a table with all of the time values so that everything lines up. I think we're good. The only other thing, fucker. Yeah, fuck it. We're gonna leave it like that and see how it affects the plugin as we go. Honestly, not sure if that's gonna be the best approach yet. Add in size field. Did we not keep an index of the total? That was stupid. Well, it doesn't matter because it's just going to be subtracting the final from the start. So here's t do. Right, those are still the only values in t, so that's fine. Set, 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 set. Fucker. Damn it. Okay. Really unfortunate clicking. Count. Great. T.size equals. We are looking at alright, now we're going to say t dot time index is time ref, so we're adding that table in here, and t dot times equals times. That was hard. Size equals, we'll just pick one of them, so t dot on dot size. Not really sure why I'm including that field, except that I already have used it. Start final. Did we set these already? Start plus size -1. Great, we did handle all that. We have our table. Great. So loading our internal images will work fine. The part I'm stuck at the moment is, well, first I need to go integrate the rest of the fucking plugin to work with this now. Sorry. It's really pretty outside. It is black fucking sky and total sunlight, which is probably a sign of something bad that's about to happen. Oh. Oops. There goes that. I've got no idea if this will actually handle anything, but why not? Let's see if we can do this. Camera? Camera. Let's see. Yep. Yeah, so this is what I'm distracted by right now. It doesn't quite show up as dark as it actually is, but I'm enjoying the view. I might hop outside for a few minutes here in a little bit and actually enjoy fucking sunlight like a goddamn human being for once. Alright. But we gotta make this thing work. Great, so we're gonna come back to this. So now we've gotta plop this function in where it was just importing before. So let's figure out where that was. I'm gonna say right here. Yep. Sure, that's kind of what I wanted, except not at all. And the config setup on this is going to be load images. So we need script equals, like I remember shit. Couldn't even get the capitalization right. Alright, and then we already handled where the starting image would be. Image total. Well, that sure does complicate things now, don't it? Okay, first off, this is pissing me the fuck off. That was... Oof. Alright, it's going to be some... I've since changed how I'm handling containers, so I'm making sure they're all written as plurals. Next. Images. Making sure I'm only changing variable names. I can't. Let's do this instead. Yeah. Way less likely to get bad matches. Alright, so I adjusted the values later. What am I supposed to be looking at here? There we go. Alright, so we got that renamed. Great. Now, let's fucking collapse this shit so I can see everything again. Huh, looks like my stream froze a little bit. Alright. And where the fuck was I? Alright. So script is that. And right, so we had already figured out where the starts were, except that doesn't exist anymore. So So let's do an images total. Alright, so before this starts, let's Alright, so we are going to Nope. Did I already use that? Uh-oh. Oh, config. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Right, but I'm not looking for image start. I'm looking for image total. Have I used that yet? I have not. Great. So now we're going to check this. So yes. Oh, what the fuck am I doing? Image total. Great. Nope. Constant isn't really the right word for what this is going to function as, but oh, fuck it. Great, so we have something that we can reference later. Which means we've already checked this here, and then we don't have to do this in the load images function. So we give it a dot total field, and we're going to say size equals config dot total times 1.5, and we are not going to go through that. We are using that script still, but we don't need to worry about this count, as this count we used anywhere else. That's fine. That's going to be config.total. No, I see how that could be confusing for other shit later, but that's fine. And I don't think I need this anymore. Nope. There's a new count variable down here. So that can all go away. Great. And then we will be doing this. Total equals total times 1.5, because we need to leave room for All of the read images. Okay. So we did leave space for that already, which means we are you know what? I'm going to go ahead and comment these out. Because when we pass to this thing, we're going to go ahead and give it the correct values. Total equals image total, and then what was our last field? I was just import start, so this is no longer optional. Import start equals images dot start. Great. Gonna comment this out. What is load? So we're gonna call it, I don't know, okay, so this is gonna become our table. So we've kind of got a conflict going on here, because this wasn't how the plugin was originally going to go. All right, let's go ahead and collapse this. I'm going to comment out this entire function. And we're going to look at, oh motherfucker, all right, this. So motherfuck. Alright, so I'm just going to put some notes in here basically saying that we are going to have these values later, so that all of my information about it is consolidated in one place. However, I'm not going to initialize it here anymore because I want to set it after we import our images. What am I doing? Great, so that's all been done here. And oh god fucking damn it, man. How long have I been on the wrong screen? Thanks. Alright. My bad. Guess the whole point of having the OBS there would be to actually check that screen. Is right, so we are not paying attention to this yet. Great, so we'll leave that table there. Equals. And honestly, this isn't the cleanest way to do this, but It just kind of got set up. Well, again, it wasn't originally intended for the being customized by users this way, so I'm kind of having to backtrack. I'm trying to keep it as consistent to what it was already to not have to completely redo a few days of work. It's fine, we already have that. Images, I thought I got all of those. Make a note over here, remove. Arizona. Alright, so I do need to make sure that that happened in this function. So py.generate. Great. If not, images dot import start +1, and we're checking the image after, because every time you try to import an image, even if it gets nothing, it puts a blank item there and it will verify that something was there even when it failed. So we're checking the next item over when we import. If that failed, we're going to throw error flag 1, which means that our XML script was configured wrong. Go to end of function. We can't do that, but we can return nil true, and that will be our error return. And this no longer applies. Great. Cool. So, error. If error, then go to end of function. And so now if we threw an error out of this function, the script will end early and then print all those wonderful error messages to the command line. Great. So this is no longer valid. So we are now replacing all of this with, we're actually gonna, this might be the part where we finally get it. Images dot, not images, image pack dot times. Yes, okay, so we're gonna swap that out. How in the fuck did I, okay, 1, 2, 3. We actually don't need this right now, so that has become open for reuse later. Great, so you were saying these wouldn't even work anymore because of that. Is this later in the script? Sure the fuck isn't. Oh, this was the original setup for these. That can go. We are decidedly not needing that anymore. Cool. Next. Swap it. Swap it. What the fuck? Swap it, swap it. Okay. And where the fuck were we? Views. We handled views. Doop-a-doo. I'm fucking having brain farts now. Alright. Right, I was switching out that name, so this isn't what we're looking at. We are looking at that. But I already did this part. What is this doing? This is why you should put notes for yourself. Okay. on start index 1. I don't know why we're doing that when we now have this available. Great. So on index, current name is the current name. If this doesn't exist, why error? Fuck, I already forgot what that was. But I already handled checking names earlier, so I don't need to worry about an error here. Great. Great, so okay, we're labeling each one by its time and not doing anything to rename it later? Kind of seems like a bad idea. Label image that as this, and that will be our current image number, right? Current image number, and we're renaming it as its current name. Go ahead and skip down to after they've provided times. All right. And fuck, I'm fucking crashing right now. I think the coffee's failing. Motherfuck. For great. I think I'm gonna have to kill this stream soon because I am dying for brain power. Alright. So we're deleting unused images, so the time to do that would be right before all of this crap. So let's do that. Okay, renaming them here. Let's see if I can make it through to a stopping point at least. Okay. Nah, there's already a delete command for the cleanup. Okay. Store current view. Great. Here's on.start. Yes, that is still where we want to put that. Okay. Here's one that we got to swap out. Swap this out for scripts dot. Oh. Never mind. That is correct. That's for the view. Putting it on all views. Great. User input. Okay. What the fuck was this table? Table key set image pack dot times. This had to have just been a way to check that these all worked. There's no other reason for me to be doing an echo middle of this. And what's more is that we already have a table for this, which is, what was it called? T-index? T-index, great. So that would be please tell me I didn't put that anywhere. Okay, thank God. Okay, so we're finding that and we're replacing it with image pack .t-index. Don't need it. And swap it there, and we're good. Okay. Times image pack dot. Okay, that tells us how many times we have. That's fine. That works great. Okay. Our inputs. Nothing else is changing here. It might be possible that this thing will run right now. Alright, we're checking for the index of that. Oh, you stupid little child. What is T? What is T? Why do I do this to myself? Oh, it's right here. It's used exactly how it's always used. Time equals value. Okay. Index equals the index. And there's not really a, well, actually, in case they did come in out of order. Okay, so now we can reference those directly in this table. Okay, we delete anything that's not being used. Sorry, I know this video is probably fucking incredible boring. I got nothing to supplement that with. I'm fucking tired out of my mind. You know what? I'm at fuck it. Let's just give it a run. Alright, and which fucking one are we even working on? .094, and it loaded. Okay, that's more than I expected. I did copy the new script in. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. Don't care. Going for it, we failed. Alright. Import start line 219. I'm sure I know what I did there. We're looking for config.import start. You know what? I'm just going to declare it up here just so if I do again decide to change how this is handled, I know where this variable is set in case there's any adjustment of this that needs to be handled at a later point. So I don't have to go dig through and figure out and replace every single one of these at that time. Let's give this another shot. Well, that sure isn't a plugin. Let's try this again. Cool. Don't care. Error code 4. Image name's not formatted properly. God damn. Name not found in provided image. Well, I doubt that. So what happened? We imported them all. First off, that is not a value. Second off, error flag 4, which is not name, get. Oh, but I didn't make sure in my cleanup command. Fucking. For God's sake. Is that what I did? There we go. Fucking script was I on? Clean up, clean up, clean up. Oh yeah, okay. I can at least tell us which fucking... Alright. First off. Oof, nope. Still nope. Alright, empty string there. But why the fuck did I get nothing in the custom info field? Did I not? Error custom info field. Oh. Whoops. That was an oopsie. Alright. I don't see any other messages in here. Thought there were 3 though. There was definitely flag number 5. But did I not? Seriously, dude? Okay. So I set it up to handle it and then didn't include it? Oh, that's right. I decided against throwing an error for that. So we're going to go ahead and we'll comment it out for now. We'll come back later to clean all that up. Okay. So I think I got it right this time. And still didn't see shit. What in the fuck? Flag equals 4. Custom info append. Then in our cleanup, it doesn't equal 0, then go through that, and then through that, and then clean the fucking thing up properly. And also we initialize it properly because I think I started it as a string. Yep. Instead of a table. That would be why that's not working. Okay. 77 improv. Well, I only gave you 76 of them, so yeah, I can see why that's not fucking working. Goddamn fucking. Okay, so how the fuck did we get to 77 when I gave you 76 items to work with? How the shit? Image number, first off, counter is starting at 1, so we are indeed getting only 1 per loop. So then we go from start to final. How are these decided? Import start. Great, we provided that. Size. Config.total. Tell me, you stupid fucking. Okay. Do I need size anywhere else in here? Set.size equals that, that. So I don't need this anywhere else because that was being used to check for space. So, why are you here? Config.total. Alright. Copy. Moving over. Forgot what I was doing. Yep. Don't care. Failed, but for a different reason, and that is God fuck. I thought I God fucking shit changed that. Fucker. You motherfuck. Doing it again. Hey. Kind of failed at the whole renaming it part, though. Why? What happened there? So let's find. Alright. So import images. Time. Times do. Label image that. Something else. Don't fucking care what happened. What the dicks? I didn't notice how few of images I was looking at just then either. Also, God, why? I knew that would fucking become a float. Delete image. I don't understand how you became a float. But that's fucking fine. Especially because it's told to implement that. Wait, that's not what it's looking at. Alright, let's see this then. What do we have matching delete? Here we go. Images.final became a float. And I feel like I was actually concerned about that, so let's find where you happened. Images.total. Because we multiplied by a motherfucking float. Alright, so here's what we can do. The format was string dot. Alright, apparently having a bunch of text highlighted slows this program down. Format. So we're going to force it to look at this thing as an integer and then turn that whole thing back into a number, because Lua does not have an integrated way to force it into being a integer or a float. It just does it for you in the background. It's an Apple product. It takes a little too much control out of your hands sometimes. So let's give this a shot first off. But also, what in the fuck? Alright, so we skipped a whole bunch of images because we're only looking at whole numbers. So, so let's figure out what the fuck went wrong here. Oh my god, I feel like I wrote the original plugin faster than I'm rebuilding it now. Pairs imagepack.times. Imagepack.times. Okay, so somehow that got the wrong values, because times is supposed to contain numerical indexes. It's supposed to be a sequence. So times, times, times. Okay. Times append time, which means it's going to do it as a it's going to put it in a sequence. It's just going to be a numerical index. So that's fine. So what the fuck? Imagepack.times. I didn't change anything. It just happened right here. Do. Wait a second. What the shit? No, this is the table that's fucked up. It's the on-off tables. Set index. How did I set? Interesting. So this shouldn't change it. This should come out the same, but timer of time. It should come out the same, but I'm going to do it anyways and see what happens. Because if it doesn't, then this table's getting fucked up somehow. And I don't know how. Right, let's give this a shot. Failed already. Okay. Line 286. Arithmetic on a null value. Well, that's not how that's supposed to be written, but that isn't the reason that that's concerning. Well, let's just see it again here. Still failed. 469. That is not image C equals image on index. That value doesn't exist. Great. So times appended the time. Okay, what the shit is going on here? If we don't have this time already, then we add it to our table of times. Both of these are tables. the referencing table indexed at the time equals the current number of entries in times, because this will only be triggered every time we're adding something to this. I did declare these outside of the loop, right? I did. It's finding a time. Fucking. Alright. Speak to me. Tell me what the fuck you're doing. Yeah, I'm fucking sure. Okay. How many images do we make it through here? Oh my god. It looks like we made it through the whole fucking set. Alright, and we are looking at the time value. Oh, you stupid motherfucker. One character. One character makes all the difference. Comment it out for a moment. Let's see how that little plus changes our lives. So, what I just corrected, just to clarify for anybody trying to follow, this means it's going to match a singular character as soon as it finds either a digit or a period. This means it will capture one or more of those that are all back-to-back, side-to-side, whatever you want to call it. And I forgot that little plus. So, well, okay, well at least we have something else wrong now. Attempt to concatenate null value C. Why would C be nil? Alright, we're going back to this. That's why I didn't delete it. Let's do this. Install log append time times index and it's going to be time and just to make this a little bit easier to read when it all prints back out. Alright. So it looks like all of our times did come in, all of our indices did work out. We should make it up to what, 38. Index got frozen at 38 when it looped over. Why did that? Oh. And that is why originally this was set for, but we were troubleshooting and I got stupid. Alright. Keep your fucking head on straight, Jason. Hey! Alright, well that is about fucking time. Okay, so we have made it over the first hurdle. Let's see if this thing actually installs correctly now. 0. Make sure it can handle float values. Let's make sure it avoids perfect. That means that it is still checking times correctly. That's not what I meant to do at all. But now we're going to see if it reorders times properly as it's expected to. Alright. see about that. Layout 13. Let's go take a look-see. Nope. I'm in the wrong show file. Okay. Layout 13. Not what that should be named, but that has nothing to do with this. And hey, they're all working. Let's go check out our macros, see what, I got some stuff to get rid of in here. Alright, I feel like I belong in an episode of Hoarders. Yes, it did reorder them properly. Okay, we're triggering the right macro. Execute all fades. Those are my defaults, for better or worse. That was kind of stupid. Uninstaller, everything is still normal there. Great, okay. So now, making sure that that did all fire some shit in the command line. Perfect. Once upon a time on a page far, far away. No, do I have shortcuts off? Yeah. It's probably my punting page from this file. There we go. So I can indeed check. I know I had... there it is. There it is. Hey, we can see that it's working. Great. Cool. Fuck, save the shit out of this. Great. Next up is making it work with custom user images. Which, after doing all that, I think I've pretty much got the process down to... I'm just going to make another plugin that will build their custom version instead. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Cool. So, how are we doing this? So we want it to carry as minimal baggage as possible. Derp. What does that entail? Well, let's start from a brand new plugin. So let's change the name of this thing. Cool. Save. I don't know if that'll actually change, but whatever. All right. So we're gonna first off open up our template here. We don't need this to be too advanced. We're gonna save this in, what are we doing here? Fades layout? Yeah. We're gonna say, alright. So we don't want it to really have dependencies, but let's get back to that part later. What we want it to do, Alex Key, you touched a nerve there. I will just say this in the text first. So first off, I didn't even realize I still had depends down there. Depends. Here's a rant. Oh God, where did all of these comments come from? Okay. What the hell? Is the stream not coming through? I'm getting mixed things here. Gonna reload on my end. What the hell? When the fuck did I hit that again? I swear I haven't touched the... Well... Huh. I have not touched the Stream Deck since that last one that I can remember. So I don't know what the fuck happened. My screen's still showing the wrong shit, but it looks like we're on the right thing. People are happy. Okay. Anyways, sorry about that. I'm gonna keep an eye on that now. Um, Depends. Um, oh, well, I'm a fucking idiot. I can't believe I did that twice. Um, Man, you guys didn't even see the plugin work then. That's disappointing as fuck. Um, Seriously? Fuck, I could have sworn I fixed the fucking stream. Ah, I feel so goddamn stupid now. Fuck, scream at me sooner. Shit, you guys probably did. I wasn't paying attention. Anyways, I'm gonna get over kicking myself later. And figure out how to avoid that in the future. Depends. Their demo looked great. Everything in it looked fucking killer. Went to test it out, had some issues, contacted their support. They were saying it's being fixed in future releases. Uh, Basically, everything I tested, I seemed to find a way to break it pretty quickly. Um, and then I had issues with laser, so I was getting Pangolin output from Pangolin just fine. It was getting into Light Converse because I was thinking about switching away from that, which has now become L8. I'm not really sure if it's supposed to be said L8 or Light Converse still, anyways. And I couldn't get hardly a little beam to come out. I played with the quote unquote wattage. Okay, that could be it. Oh, sorry, I'm responding to. So I will definitely keep an eye on that now. Anyways, as far as Depends goes, it just that I couldn't get Pangolin to work right, and when I contacted them about that one, they just stopped responding. I sent them over the course of a month, maybe 3 emails, just checking in, never got back to me. Got another email asking if my issue had been resolved from somebody who clearly had not seen the whole thread. I said it had still not, and I still haven't gotten a response back. That was all shortly after LDI, so end of November, beginning of December. Just haven't been able to get responses out of them since. And I've heard that other people have had a similar issue to where once they start running into issues with the software, they just don't get responses from customer support. So, as fantastic as that software looks, I don't think I'll be spending on it. Anyways, am I getting the right fucking stream out? Because I'm still seeing the wrong shit in YouTube, but OBS is showing me the right thing. Okay. YouTube's showing me the right thing now. Well, sorry for everybody who just looked at my goddamn desktop for half an hour. It's kind of a bummer. But I'll figure out what the hell's going on with this at some point. Anyways. Oh, I see what you're saying about a key binding now. That has to be it. There's got to be some... Alright. Okay, let's see what our... this is intentional at the moment. There's shortcuts for this shit, isn't there? Shortcut, 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 shortcut. Oh, well, okay. I will find that later, but that has to be what's happening because I know I did not hit the wrong fucking button in OBS. And I think there's like a control. Nope. That was sure the wrong button. I don't know. I don't know what the shortcut would be, but that's definitely... Alright. Hi guys, I don't know how to use technology. Okay, so we're making a plugin to write the customized version of the plugins at this point. So we've got our main thing working. What we're going to do is write something that will hop in and rebuild this script for us. Which, oh, I just realized I totally Okay, it is called L8. I totally could have done this in less steps, and I'm feeling extra fucking stupid about that now. This is one of those days where you realize you could have probably should have just stayed in bed, but that's all right. We're gonna get through this. Anyways, the whole thing here is we're gonna replace this script with the with whatever images the user is setting up. So, with that in mind, we are going to basically be taking this entire plugin script and dropping it into another plugin. Thanks, LightsXNL. I will be heeding that advice shortly. The more you know. Okay, so we need that huge plugin script in here. So we're going to establish scripts up here. Great. And then we're going to say scripts.plugin equals this. And now we're going to copy all this shit. Well, actually, let me copy this into a new file first, and I'll show you why. So then, can I still condense this? That'd be great. There it is. That was the thing that fucking triggered it, was my collapse function. All right. So now we know that exists. So anyways, I'm going to get rid of all this, and I'm going to put in here script. Great. For those who haven't seen on prior videos, this little tag inside of another script is how I signal for a replacement function to replace this with some value from a table. So I can't think of any reason. No, so this doesn't exist elsewhere in the plugin, so we are safe to do this. Okay, so now I can take all of this and paste it in here. Okay, then we have to make sure that our containing brackets do not have the same number of there's a word here, equal signs of everything else. Oof, and finding the beginning of this is going to be a but. So how about this? Let's undo that we just pasted that. Let's do this instead. Let's put 8 in there. I think we should be safe with 8. All right, copy that, and we're going to go back in here, and we're going to paste. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so we can see it's all in orange. Making sure I'm still on the right fucking view. Yeah. All right, everything's in orange, which means this is all now a string. I can't collapse it, which is a bit of a but that's fine. That's what part of why it's at the end of the plugin. Okay, so then, for now, I'm not even going to bother with a cleanup function to see if I can get away with not having one. It should be pretty straightforward. All right, let's pull out the function for this. Sub equals, so we're looking for, great. And we're just going to paste this in here as its own function. Kind of just all over the place right now, just trying to get rid of shit, but that can go up there. This definitely doesn't need to be in user config area. Pull this out. Local shortcuts still not right. All right. Don't need progress bars. I mean, there's no reason I couldn't put the whole fucking man, I lost my thing. Oh, hey, it's Luke Stratton. And also awesome to hear Alex Key. Sorry, my brain's too many places at once. Okay. Doop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doop-doop-doop. Oh, fuck. I have no idea what I was doing anymore. Getting back into it. I just didn't want to make this script fucking forever long. The thing's already... Well, the entire length of this, and then including that library in there, again, would just make it stupidly long. So I'm just going to write the script first, and then paste in whatever functions I need from the library. Okay, so we are wanting to find equals, can I get the 2 sentence recap? Oh, so I have tweaked a version of a fades layout builder. Make sure I've still got everything running here. So building this, what I'm working on right now is building a plugin that will build this script again for people, but with a customized set of images at the, well, inside of the script to allow them to have their own version of the plugin. So hopefully that catches you up to speed. So local plugins thought is going to be, I'm just going to make a list here. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to comment that out because it'll give me an error if I forget to replace them, and that's what I need. So we're going to look for the nearest available plugin space. We need hoops starting from fill all that in later, and config.plugin slot equals, we'll default that to 1, and then we're looking for a space for 1 plugin. Great. Then we'll say local script equals scripts dot plugin, and it is script singer. That makes 0 sense. Where did I initialize that? Oh, I did do it right there. Can't keep my shit consistent today. Scripts.plugin. And we're gonna say, what are we gonna end up calling it? Script sub, sure. So script sub scripts.plugin with, well, a script that we don't have yet. So we will say, what did I call that field? I put it all the way at the bottom. Where did I put it? And it was called plugin. That was dumb. Image script. That makes way more sense. Okay. Call it that. I do have to swap this text file back in at some point, but that's fine. That will be image script equals, oh, kind of a confusing coding practice, but it'll work. Okay, so great. Now we have to establish what the fuck image script actually is. So we have to collect from the user the range of images they want to be exporting. So zero and 0. Trying to keep it minimal. Oh, man. Because all the customized functions that I use all kind of have some dummy proofing built in. Not as much dummy proofing, but fat finger protection. So if someone puts a string where a number's supposed to be, it'll prevent it. But I am trying to keep this lightweight. Let's see what we have. Let's see, input equals, how long of a function is this? Not short, but fuck it. That doesn't belong there. Oof. Is that really all of that? Everything I copied? Yep. We don't need the function test in here. Great. So we can get rid of this comma. And all the way up to here, we will unindent that and call this input. I feel like I'm going to regret trying to embed all this directly in here instead of including the library. But yeah, fuck it, we're going to go with it. Great. Start. Again, not my usual. I'm trying to rush through this and I'm shooting myself in the foot doing so. How about that? Puts dot start equals oops. And then we are doing number no match in case they accidentally fat finger and enter. And then we'll do fuck it. Great. Okay, so we have our starting input, our ending input. We are going to verify with them that those are the images they want to use. So for image equals inputs.start, inputs.final, do. So we're going to loop through all those numbers. And then I'll replace these later. Nope. If get verify image, then count equals count plus 1. Great. Okay. Not that these matter. And then we will say I'm really close to just including the whole damn thing at this point. And damn. If count equals 0, then go to enough function. Stop rushing, Jason. Too much fucking caffeine. Alright. So if they didn't actually include any images in that range somehow, we're going to skip to the end. And we don't have to worry about separate ranges because everything's going to be based on the way the images are named. So make sure my output is still good. Good. I didn't hit any stupid shortcuts. Append. confirm, then go to UF. Oh, that is definitely not how you write that either. Whoopsie. So I'm actually going to mark the plugin complete after that, just because if they're canceling, then they don't need an error message saying that the plugin failed. So I'm going to go ahead and say that it's true, just to the only purpose of this is to control whether or not the losing my thoughts here, whether or not the cleanup command is going to display that there was an error in this case. The main plugin that we're actually working with has a little more complex stuff in it than that, but that'll be the only purpose here. Alright, so plugin will terminate if they don't confirm. So from there, we are going to move into building the plugin. So we are going to say, first off, command make sure we're on internal here. Then we're going to say export image X through, can't talk and type at the same time. Alright, so we need to do some file name handling here. And since it's only one file, we can go ahead and do that here. There's something important to remember about caps here. What was it? I feel like it is in my best interest to keep everything lowercase because of some kind of particular issue on Linux. Or rather, an issue that Windows is not case sensitive, Linux is. And I think when you export on a console, it ignores the casing you use. I could be wrong, but I've definitely had issues that have come from exports and cases before. So we're just going to call it that. It doesn't matter because we've got it stored in a variable, as long as it can find it. So we're doing inputs.start, inputs.final, and we are going to export it as that file name. Great. It's a horrible order to do this in. Let's start marking what we're doing. Way too much caffeine. Unable to connect to chat, what the fuck? Alrighty. Right, so I was in the middle of that. We're going to export it as this. Okay. Equals. Gotta verify that actually. And it does not include the slash at the end. Okay. So import export slash. So then no, we only need it once. Alright, so we're exporting to that. Then we're going to image script equals, actually we're not there yet. I'm going to leave that there. Read file equals io.open. Have it go ahead and crash and give us an error if this doesn't succeed. We're opening file path dot file name, or yeah, we included both slashes in there. And while Linux and Windows do opposites on which slash it uses, when Lua's reading it, whatever reason it'll pass, it doesn't matter which slash it uses, it works successfully, so you don't have to worry about handling that separately on different OSs. And we're opening this in read mode. Great. All right, and read. And then the star A tag means we're going to read everything in it, and that is where this should be going. All right. Then we're going to close our read file. Okay, so now we have our script. Next thing we need to do is make sure that that script is fixing the version number so that it will import into any version. So I know it's going to be on line 2 here, but first off, let me make sure this only exists in one spot. Trying to think if there's any reason there would be a redundancy, and I don't think there would be. A redundancy in the plugin script that we have, wrong script, that we've embedded in this plugin, but I don't, that wouldn't even be relevant, so I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Great. All right. So I actually wanted to copy this. Fuck. Given that we're at version 3.9 now, I'm going to go ahead and set this up just in case they go into 4.0 next. I don't know if they're going to do 3.10 because I don't think they didn't do a 2.10. So this is the text we're looking for. Okay. So equals three equals 0, and this will make sense in just a second here. So now, oh, that doesn't work because I'm not customly building this. Never mind. Does not work in this case. We're going to say script equals, or rather, image script equals image script gsub, and we're going to be looking for that, except we don't need to give it the number 3 specifically because it needs to be able to handle any version, so we're going to give it that and have it replace that with the correct one that I should not have just deleted. Okay. And this isn't the most efficient way to do this because it has to build a whole new string that's however many lines long, but also it's the only thing this thing is doing. I think it can handle, what, 14 kilobytes in memory. Now we're going to do the same thing for a minor version. So then we're going to make this 0, and we can verify, and now we know that it will be, again, the whole point of this was that it will import in any version of MA, which for something like images, I'm not too worried about compatibility issues. All right, so now we've corrected our image script. That's the only thing we need to do for it, as far as the plugin's concerned, is just make sure that it will import wherever the plugin's used. So with that done, we can now say, oh, we've got our corrected script, and we already did this earlier, so now it's going to build, it's going to completely correct the script so that all of this will now contain this script that we just put in, because we had this tag way at the end. with that. So that is where the exclamation point thing is. This is the tag that I use for it to find something in an XML file and replace it with a value based on its key from the table that's being provided. So with that done, all we have to do is write the plugin, and now I'm definitely going to be using the library because I've got a table just for this, and it's going to be plugin.write. Did we find where this is actually storing to? Did I find that space yet? Since this isn't too huge of a plugin, let's do that here. And I'm going to go back through and note and clean this up here in a minute. So we're going to write, and it's actually a config table that we're passing along. Look, I even gave myself some damn... This is after I was... Well, I learned some things before this one. That's all. So number is going to be plugin slot. And we're not going to be doing execute on load. Great. Name is going to be, I hadn't thought that far. I guess that could be another name, input. Fuck it, we're already going to be using the library. Kinda. Yeah. Alright. Alex Key, I could give that a shot using Major version 1. My concern is that if anything more drastic has changed since then, I don't know if it handles any conversion or if it will reach a point where it'll basically say this thing is too old for us to even accept allowing it in, but I could absolutely give that a try. You know what, I'm going to make a note here to just give that a shot once we're done with this. Try. Oh, hell. Just for shits and giggles. Why not? Let's give it a shot. Because I feel like I've actually tried to import things on like version 3.8 from... Oh, no, that's right. 3.125 just had an export problem. 3.125 had a lot of problems. We're going to do no match. Nah, doesn't really matter how I do this. It's not the cleanest statement, but yeah. All right. No, I'm going to do that after each of these. Just so if a mistake's been entered or if the plugin was fired by accident, they don't have to sit through all of the confirmation things that come with this through all 3 runs. Great. Okay. That handles all of that. Where was I? Plugin name, that's right. So, copy this. And all of these append things are implementing string.format, which is how I'm able to use these tags. Let's see, name blah blah blah, great. And then we'll say name is inputs.plugin name. Script equals how many times have I used that? One of two. Yeah. And I had decided that that was going to be image script. And I do hope that I did handle that accordingly up here. Yes, I did. Okay. So this will be plugin script. Great. And that should be it. So with all of that working, so for now, what else did I use? Say script sub. And that's just using this, so I can just use xml.sub for that. Again, these are all just part of the library that I have built over the many hours sitting in a dark room. That's not fair. There's sunlight in the room sometimes. Sometimes it's a bus. Sometimes it's a dungeon, but I'm not supposed to talk about that. Okay. Let's shut the fuck up and try this. And what's our error? Well, yep, because I didn't import a library, did I? So for now, I'm going to be referencing the library externally. First, just shove this thing out the way. Okay. I'll worry about that part later, but oh man, I completely erased that block, didn't I? Doobie doot doot doobie doobie doot doot doobie doot 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 doot. I think I've got a copy of that in the file. Yes, I do. It's labeled wrong at the top, but I do have it in here. Okay. Did I leave any other stupid shit in here? Right now, this is definitely not the epitome of organization that I've ever done, and I will be spending some time cleaning it up afterward. But it's currently short enough that I can survive with it. What? Seriously? Alright, so that wasn't the issue. Line 151. Yep. There's those. Objects. Eh. Were you ever used? Well, not in here. That's all I care about. Okay. Script sub. Were you ever used? Get out. More of a container than anything, but we'll let the term slide. I personally don't care that much, but I'm sure some programming snob will give me hell. Hey, grab everything. Alrighty. Shit. I'm sure glad I did that, because I did not see what I was typing. This is all well and good, except I need to make sure I've got some images to work with. So, wrong. Where is... Sure, we'll do the orange ones this time. We'll start at 801. Import this. Alright, cool. Oops. Turn my shortcuts back on. Great. I'm just going to use, I don't know, like 4 times out of this one just to make sure that it works. So let's do, we're going to copy, actually, we're going to move, because I don't want those fucking tags on it. This, and I don't know, 1, 2, 4. Move 0.1, 1, 2, 4 here. See that it can work with a non-contiguous range. 759 through 777. Or yeah, 759 through 777. Let's give it a spin. 9 and all right, seems about right. Like 101. Plural, plural. I forgot the numbers. 759, 777. Well, let's find out. Well, son of a bitch, it works. We'll put things in out of order. We'll give it an invalid time. Good, that's working. Layout number 14. There it is. Giant as fuck, but the builder does work, which means... Oh god, there was so much extra work I could have avoided today. Oh well. That means that this thing is just about ready to release. And to Alex Key's triumph, let's say, setting it up with version 1 down here, major version 1 did indeed work, so I guess that's something I'll do in the future. Sparingly, definitely going to have to make sure that it works on other things. I guess I'm going to assume that images, if nothing else, are pretty safe in that department. But yeah, so we have our setup so that with any releases, then the whole goal here was that, so originally I had set it up so that if people wanted to put in their own custom images, they could come down here and just swap out the script themselves. However, it had been brought to my attention that once the library is added in here, that happens at about line 4000. Not everybody's going to want to know how to handle a text editor just to edit this. And it does also introduce a lot more room for errors. For example, not having the version number correct. So, the goal today was to take this plugin in its working form and then make it work in a way that I can just provide a script to it. Originally, part of the problem was that we also had a field inside of this, because this was a table, not just a string, that had the times written out. So I've changed it now so that it actually determines the times based on the naming of the images, which will be explained when I name it. But basically, it's been set up now so that the user just names the images a specific way, so they give it a time and the status off or on, and the plugin will know what to do with it from there. It'll know that this is for a 0.1 second fade, and it will know that these images are linked together because they both share this 0.1. This is the off version of the image, this is the on version of the image. And just by naming it a certain way, they can then use it with this builder plugin, which will then allow them to create a version of it with their own custom images, not only for the current show file, but that they can carry around so that they don't have to rebuild this every time. Lighting Tech 88, yes, that was, like, I definitely feel like I've run into some issues with Major Version, but in the case of images, it is working. But yes, you can actually, so that version number isn't specific to what version of Lua was used. It's specific to what version of MA exported something. And I would be curious to go back and find out, but you can actually, if anybody wants to dick around with shit that at this point doesn't really matter, you can open a plugin pool on versions before it was publicly released. If you export a plugin view, then go edit the version number like we did here, but just to show you guys, you know what, do I have version 3.0 installed? You know what, just for shits and giggles, let's just do this. So I know this works. I'm just going to save this. This is my end of day entertainment. So we're going to make a view here that's just, well, we've got a view that has plugins in it already. So, all right, so we're going to export view 45. Okay, then we go to import export. Great, we have this plugins XML. So I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to move up to version 3.0 and import export, paste it in here, and we're going to go in and edit this. Version 3.0. Great, this, it doesn't seem to read, so minimize that. Great, now we're going to go in, we're going to close out this. Oops. Make sure, yeah. So version 3.0.0. How did you possibly get version 3.8 out of that? Alrighty. So version 3.0, this is the oldest one I've got on this computer. I've got it going back to like 2.5 on my laptop. Alex Key, a custom image with. If your time was 2.43 seconds, yes, it will read the first number that it finds as the time. And I will be explaining that when this actually gets released. But yes, whatever time you need it to be, however specific you want it to be, it will understand that. Anyways, on this, we are going to, so just to verify for everybody, plugins do not exist as a public thing here. They would normally show up in the system pool. But we can even check in the pools area. God, I'm pretty sure this is a row taller too at this point. But you can see that plugins does not belong in here anywhere. Not in sheets, it's not in presets, it's not in playbacks. So plugins do not exist in this version. But we're going to say, actually, let me just pull up a views pool at least. All right, which we have none. Perfect. Import plugins view 1. What the fuck? Right. We'll move this over here. That'd be great if that's how you assigned a view. And ta-da! You can actually make the plugin pool exist. Also, plugin 1 does not exist in here. Also, trying to edit a plugin doesn't seem to do anything. So, but I do remember you can import one into these and they will run. It's obviously not publicly supported. I don't know why you would do it unless you're using like a Chinese knockoff desk. And again, since it wasn't publicly supported, there's probably a lot of shit in it that isn't stable. So there's not really a reason to do it, but it did exist for anybody who gives a shit. So that's that. But our plugin is done. I got fucking nothing else to add to this. I will try to make the next video something that's a little bit more useful to people, I guess, learning Lua, something that isn't just me doing what I'd be doing already, but publicly. But I don't know, maybe give some insights. But yeah, I'll try to do something that's a little more educational on the next video whenever I can make to that, and we'll have a blast. I'm going to go get a little bit of sunlight while I've still got about 50 minutes of that, because sunlight is good for your health, for anybody who doesn't know that, and for your sanity. So I'm going to step away. You all have a wonderful fucking day, and you guys will be seeing this soon. Peace.